Welcome to another tutorial. My name is Devon McNeil and I'm going to show you how to link your Microsoft Access to your MySQL. So before you could even start, you will need to have your ODBC connector driver, and also you need to have Wampserver. In order to get Wampserver, you need to go over to the wampserver.com website. At the time of this video, the Wampserver website was not responding, so as an alternative, you can go across to the SourceForge website and download it there. So what is Wampserver? Wampserver is a Windows web development environment that allows you to create applications with Apache 2, PHP, and MySQL database. After installing Wampserver, you'll need to also have your ODBC driver. In order to get your ODBC driver, you need to go over to the dev.mysql.com website, go down to MySQL downloads, then go across to connector ODBC and click on it. Right here, you will select your Windows, your operating system. So if you're running Mac, you'll go to Mac. If you're running Linux, you'll choose the necessary one that's applicable to you. From there, you'll also select the version, and then you download the necessary file. In order to link your MySQL database to your Microsoft Access, all you need to do is go over to your Wampserver. As you can see, my Wampserver is already running, so I'm just going to click onto it, and we're going over to PHP MyAdmin. By default, our username is roots and password would be null, so we're just going to click go. And now we're going to create a new database. In order to create a database, a MySQL database, you can either click on to new or go over to database. We're going to give this database a name. So the name I'm going to give this database would be jobs. And I'm going to leave the collision as default for the sake of the tutorial. So we're just going to click on to create. I'm going to create a table. So we're going to give the table name employee. I'm going to leave the number of columns at 4, but you could change it to 5, 6 if you like to. I'm going to click on to go. Next, we're going to enter some field names into our table. So the first field name I'm going to enter is employee underscore ID. This stands for employee's ID. I'm going to put this as a char. Values or length would be 8. I also want to set this as my primary key. I'm going to click go. Next name would be the employee's first name, so E underscore F name. We're going to click on to type. I'm going to look for voucher. We're going to give the employee's first name at 10. We're going to set this the length at 10. We're going to do the same for the employee's last name, so E underscore L last name. We're going to click on to the type, look for voucher. I'm going to give it 10 as well. And finally, the employee's age, E underscore H. We're going to leave this at end by default. I'm going to click on to, and we're going to give it the length of 3. So we're going to click save. And our next step is to create our ODBC driver. To do so, you just need to go into administrative tools. Click onto data store and enter it here and edit from here. However, I'm going to set it up by typing ODBC setup or data source ODBC. And I'm going to add, so we're going into user DSN. We're going to add our data source now. I'm going to look for MySQL ODBC 5.0 driver. We're going to click onto it and then click finish. We're going to give our data source a name. So my name would be MySQL job. I wouldn't put anything. I will leave the description as default. Since it's my local machine, I wouldn't need to type in any server, and my username would be root. I'm going to click onto database and look for my database, which is jobs. Then I'm going to test for connectivity. Connection successful. So we're going to click onto OK. Our next step is to go over to access. Create a new access database. I'm going to take off this table. We go into external data, and we're going over to ODBC database. We're going over to link to the data store by creating a linked table. Then we're going to click OK. Wait for it to load. Next step is to click machine data store. We're going over to the data store that we just created, which was MySQL dash jobs. Sorry. I'm going to click on it, then click OK. Next, we're going to select our table, which was employee, and then click OK. Double click onto it, and let's enter some data. So my employee ID would be 005, first name John, last name Brown, age, let's say 34. I'm going to save this. We're going back over to our MySQL database now. Let me just click on our next database, and then go back over to my new one, my database that I just created. We're going to click onto the table that we just created to see if the information was there. Yes. ID 005, first name John, last name Brown, and his age 34. And this is how you link your your MySQL to your Microsoft Access. Thank you for watching.